Hello, today we have something different. This is the deck that I used when I came back playing Magic the Gathering. I stopped somewhere around, I mean, I didn't even actually stop, I was just a kid when I bought some packs from the Urza Saga block and I came back with Zendikar. So I started playing Standard and JUND was there. So most of you know JUND for Modern. I actually got the chance to play it when it was in Standard and it was dominating. This is a value deck and it was the best deck in Standard. At first the other decks were things like vampires. Then after Alara, when more sets came out, the other decks were blue-white control with Gideon Yura, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Marshall Coop, things like that. Day of Judgment. Also Mythic Conscription was very good. There were many good decks. It was a very funny Standard. Mono Red was a thing. Time Sieve, Open the Vault combo. So let's take a look at the mana base. I don't have most of the lands anymore. Like I have Vendor Catacombs, I don't have them at the ready. But the mana base was mostly dual lands, 4 Raging Ravine, and also the other main land from Worldwake, Valakut Riches, Savage Territories, then 4 Verdant Catacombs, some forests, swamps, and obviously the dual lands from Magic 2010, so Rootbound Crag and Dragon's Cult Summit. In the low end of the curve, Trace of Abundance. This was great because it gives Hexproof to your manlands, so Raging Ravine becomes very dangerous for control decks, and it can also deal with Sphinx or Juar Isle, which is a major problem for this deck. It was used in blue and white control decks. If you can grow Raging Ravine before Sphinx of Juar Isle comes in play, you're bigger and you keep attacking, and they just don't have answers for it. So at first this deck was using Rampant Growth, mostly because it costs just 1 green mana. This one requires you to have a red source, but this is way better because it gives you another angle of attack. Then we have some creatures and Bloodbraid Elf. Unfortunately I don't have the old artwork, 4 copies obviously. You cascade into Blightning, Sprouting Trinax or removal spells, or Putrid Leech. Putrid Leech, which is a 2-drop that basically can deal 4 damage to control decks. And finally Garruk Wild Speaker, which allows you to play a 3/3 beast every turn for 3 turns in a row, let's put it that way, or it's going to untap your lands. So it allows you to play the higher end of the curve. 3 copies of Siege Gang Commander and Broodmate Dragon. Also, Bituminous Blast was very good in the mirror match. Later with Rise of the Eldrazi, Sarkhan the Mad came out. I was one of the very few players who liked it. Removal spells, Lightning Bolt, Terminate, Maelstrom Pulse, so very good stuff. This is a value deck, very powerful. You can see the team like generating tokens so that removal spells don't really disrupt your plan. Card advantage. This deck was very funny. It wasn't funny for your opponents. but for you it was very funny to play this deck. The weakest link is the manabase, but it was the best deck until blue-white control came out with Worldwake. Even then, I like to use a sideboard plan, Fire, with Liliana Vess or Diabolic Tutor. I was using Diabolic Tutor, and this fix also helps a lot against control decks of the time, blue-white, Grixis. Master of the Wild Hunt also was a nice option. I think a player won the Nationals in the Netherlands using this card. I think it was good against Mythic Conscription, but you know, a guy that puts a 2/2 Wolf token in play every turn, possibly on turn 3, it's quite good. So the most common sideboard cards were Duress, Beating Needle, JUND Charm, Goblin Windblaster, and Thought Hemorrhage. Also, Consuming Vapors was a good option when Rise of Eldrazi came out. It was very much needed to stop Emrakul, which was played by the Polymorph deck. Thought Hemorrhage stops combo in general. JUND Charm also stops combo, and it can deal 2 damage to each creature, so it stops aggressive strategies as well. Then there were some other cards for stopping mono red. Goblin Windblaster was great in the mirror match and also against control decks. Duress again against control and combo decks. Yeah, so this deck had a powerful main deck, good creatures. It really didn't need more in the sideboard. It was very focused on stopping control and combo strategies. Mid-range deck, very consistent. Typical sideboard for a mid-range deck with more copies than I'm actually showing of Duress. This looks like a full play set, 4 copies. So let me know your thoughts about these beautiful cards and JUND in general. I'd like to hear some memories from players who played this standard as well. So thanks for watching and see you soon.